everyone. This week in grammar, we are going to be learning about suffixes. Suffixes are letters that we add to the end of a word, and those letters give the word a new meaning. So when we know suffixes and we come to a word that we're not sure of what it means, we can look to see if it ends with some of these groups of letters. That will help us to understand the meaning of the word. So this week, we're going to work with able, ed, full, and less. So first, remember, suffixes come at the end of the word. Let's talk about able first. Able means that something can be done. So if I add able to the end of these words, so first I had teach, if I add able, that means something is teachable. That means it can be taught. I have respect. If something is respectable, that means it can be respected. I have break. If something is breakable, that means it can be broken. So able means it can be done. When you see able at the end of a word, it means that this word can be done. So teachable, it can be taught. Respectable, it can be respected. Breakable, it can be broken. Now we have ed or ed. This means that it's happened in the past. So here I have melt. If melt has already happened, I can add ed to it, and now I have melted. That means that this melted in the past. Burn, when I add ed to burn, it becomes burned. Burned means something was burned in the past. Ask. If I add ed to ask, it means that this happened in the past. So I asked a question yesterday. So when I see an ed at the end of a word, that means it has happened in the past. So melted means that something happened, melting happened already. Burned, burning happened already. And asked means that the asking already happened. Our next suffix this week is full. When we see full at the end of a word, it means that something is full of that word. So I have delight. If I add delight to the end of full, it becomes delightful. That means that the activity or the person I'm talking about, they're delightful. They're full of delight. They're full of happiness. It was awesome. Fright. If I'm fright, that means scared, right? So if I add full to the end of fright, it becomes frightful. That means I'm full of fright. I'm very scared. Help. If I add helpful to the end of help, it becomes helpful. That means I'm full of help. I like to help people. So when we add full to the end of a word, it means that something is full of that word. So delightful means full of delight. Frightful means full of fright. And helpful means full of help. Our last suffix is the opposite of full. Less. Less means without. It doesn't have that. So I have thank. If I add less to the end of thank, it becomes thankless. That means I am without thanks. So if I do something and someone is thankless for what I did, that means they're not thanking me. They don't appreciate that I did something. Care. If I add less to the end of care, it becomes careless. That means I did something without care. Sometimes when I do my work and I rush, it's very careless. I don't put a lot of effort into it. So it's without care. Spot. If I add less to the end of spot, it becomes spotless. That means without spots. So it's very clean, right? So less means without. When I see less at the end of the word, it means it is without the word that comes right before it. So thankless is without thanks. Careless is without care. Spotless is without spots. So remember, this week we are going to be practicing 4 suffixes. able, ed, full, and less. And suffixes come at the end of a word.